All right, and we're recording. Fabulous. So I did not share with you. I wanted to wait until we were on our talks.
Yeah.
I wanted to share with you the profound solstice experience that I had.
Yes.
And because then I want to hear about what happened to you, because a lot of people have been, a lot of my clients have been telling me that they felt a portal open and then they felt a huge shift.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the portal open on Thursday night going into Friday morning. Did you feel that?
I would say mine was, yeah, it was around that time too. I was gonna say Friday, all day Friday was kind of like a very buzzy day. So it could have been over the night of Thursday, but all weekend, even until today, being Monday, it's just a lot of clarity, for sure. So I've been looking forward because you shared yesterday that you had this pivotal thing. So I've been like, ooh.
I am. It's actually
So I
quite.
love the way you interpret and use your words. So I've been very looking forward to it.
It's very, yeah, I'm very tactile with the way that I'm able to describe technical aspects.
Yes.
On
Yeah.
all levels. As I share with, I had a healing session client. All my weekends are always booked out. I always have healing session clients or a quantum healing hypnosis client. I had 3 healing session clients this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. My Sunday client, when I was explaining to her about frequency, and I'm going to share that with you after I talk about this, but about frequencies and about shifts, and she's like, how do you tune into when you say you felt a portal open? She said to me, she asked, how do you discern that? And this is what I want to share with you and everyone who tunes into this.
Yeah.
Is meditation. Meditation, and we've talked about this before, and honestly, I really feel like it needs to be talked about in every talks, because meditation, there's a false idea of meditation.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm even wearing orange, just like the Tibetan Buddhist monks.
Yep.
I'm at the top of the Himalayan mountains. I'm removed from society. I only eat bread and berries. No, that's a false, those are false spiritual concepts. Great, some people may do that at the top of the Himalayan mountains, but that's just not where we're at. We don't live in the mountains. Some of you may, but not the Himalayas. So what meditation is it is a soothing. It's a practice to soothe and calm the ego, to get it back into your heart center. And you could do that in 10 seconds if you're practiced at it and you're really focused on relaxing and calming yourself. It takes practice. Some people need to do it outside in nature. Some people need to do it away from others. Some people can do it when they're with their family members, if their family members are relaxing, or with a partner, or with their children. Some people need to walk. They need to be outside walking. I know I have been able to meditate walking on a treadmill. I have a professional Olympic gym mini rebounder, mini trampoline, Bellicon. I'm able to meditate while I'm jumping.
Yeah, I meditate while I clean. I find it very cleansing and meditative to organize and physically clean up as I'm internally cleaning up. So there's so many ways to do it. So many ways.
There are. Now, I've heard people say, oh, when I search, I've heard this from many light workers. When I do research online and I'm researching information, that's a form of meditation. I'm like, it's not, because your brain is still working.
Yeah.
You're processing. Meditation is not processing.
No, it's observing.
Meditation is not taking in data.
Yeah.
Meditation is the opposite of that. Meditation is calming, soothing, alignment, back into the heart, getting centered, getting quiet. Meditation is quiet. I've also heard other light workers say, when I play music, that's meditative. You're playing music, you're creating. Meditation's not creating.
Yeah.
Meditation is quiet. And even if it's only quiet for 1 minute, so that you can get into your heart center, 0 point frequency. Can't say that enough. You're back in your center and you get your emotional and your mental bodies, which are in your auric field. They make up all of the light bodies. They make up these, I believe there's 7 light bodies that make up your light body. And your emotional and your mental body are here in your field. And you use them as a tool to help you to create different realities. So you're bringing them back online because in the 3 and 4D perception, they are offline and they're chaotic. And that is why you are constantly seeing a chaotic mirror reflection back at you, because you're chaotic within, because you're not on your heart center. You're out in your emotional body, or you're out there in your mental body, or you're up there, or you're out there. You're not here in the body. When we are physical, we came to be here in the body. The higher self is supposed to be residing right here in the physical heart, right here. And then you can come down into the pelvic bowl. In yoga, the pelvic bowl is the seat of the soul. It's where we come and we sit in the pelvic bowl. But if there is trauma in the first 3 chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, the physical kundalini sexual energy, the creator, and the physical manifestor, the power chakra, if there's been trauma in those areas, those chakras will be blocked or clogged or shut down. And you won't be able to get into your body in order to be human and in order to create the reality that you intend. Instead, you're going to be creating an offline, chaotic reality, because that's what you're experiencing in the body, because the body is chaotic. So meditation is the tool, the key to get you back into your center, so that you as a soul, most souls are kind of hanging out in the brain on one side or the other, or up here at the top, right above, or sometimes in the halo chakra, which can be anywhere from 2 inches to 2 feet above the head. A lot of souls are hanging out up here in the halo chakra.
Yeah.
That's not going to help you.
No.
And then they're thinkers. They're deep thinkers. And I'm like, you didn't come here to just spend all your time being a deep thinker. You came here to experience being physical.
Yeah, full integration.
Full integration. And that is what ascension into 5th dimensional perception is. So meditation is the key. Meditation can be very quick. For me, it's so blissful. I meditate every morning before I get out of my bed. It's easy time to do it.
Yeah. So
before I feel like I've just meditated for a few minutes and 45 minutes have gone by and I'm like, oh geez, I've got to get up now and do my yoga practice. So I'm on last Friday, as this solstice, eclipse, new moon, 7 planets aligning, retrograde, portal opened up. Here comes the energy. And so I got into this because my client was asking me, how do you learn these things? Through meditation. Meditation helps you to become aware of how your body's feeling and responding and reacting to energies. And so since I meditate so often, just little bits all throughout the day, I'm able to feel, oh, something's coming in, incoming. And if you're sensitive, you will anyway.
Oh yeah.
You're sensitive.
I feel like I'm always in a meditative state at all times. And that's just something that I know we both resonate with. I'm sure a lot of viewers as well. It's just when you're just so centered and just practice it constantly, like any other muscle that you practice and use and strengthen, it becomes second nature. So it's not like you have to be on top of a mountain doing all these mantras, doing all these like things. It just becomes a way of being. But you need to start. It's whatever it takes. And then
absolutely. Meditation.
It's as complicated as you make it.
Yeah, it's so simple. It's so simple. The ego doesn't like that. The ego wants trauma, and so the ego will resist meditation. And again, another thing that so many light workers, clients, people on social media will share with me is, I don't like meditate. Do you meditate? Oh, I don't like that. I've never jibed. I've never jibed with that. I don't vibrate well with that. I've always found that challenging. That's too hard. I don't do hard things.
Makes no sense. Who are you?
I'm like, do you, so I'll call them on their shit. I have a friend, he'll remain nameless, who did the I don't jibe with that. That came from him. And I sent him a text back. That's your ego talking. I don't want to talk to your ego. I want to talk to your soul.
Yeah.
You need meditation. I'm going to challenge you. And and then he got back to me. He likes to be challenged. And he was like, ooh,
Oh, yeah.
good. I need the challenge. And I said, I don't think you have given meditation a fair shot.
I've used that tactic too, because like you said, humans' egos love a good challenge. So I'm like, okay, so I dare you to just sit the fuck down for 5 minutes and just see what happens. Just see what happens. And we'll go from there. If you don't feel good, if it doesn't jive with you, then we'll go from there. But usually that doesn't happen. So you like it and you do it more. Yeah.
It's like this is what I want to say, and I want to say this to starseeds, to light workers who are watching this. Knock it the fuck off. Stop it. Stop bargaining your way out of a fucking easy practice. Guess what? Meditation's fucking easy. So get the fuck over it right now. Get yourselves disciplined. Because you know what? We need you to hold your fucking light in the fucking grid and hold the fucking grid around the fucking planet already. Yes. Because I'm doing the work and have for like decades of holding the grid and helping everybody and putting my body through your shit because you didn't want to do the work and blah, 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 blah. And I was not happy to do it then. And I'm done doing it now. I'm not doing everybody's work for them. I'm not going to work out people's karma through my own body. Do your own fucking work and sit down and fucking meditate already and get centered, for fuck's sake.
I know.
And
I know I'm linearly younger. I turned 33 this weekend, actually, but
you do.
And so people are seeing a new shift in me the past few years since I turned 30, probably. They don't realize, like, I've coined the phrase, I was born aware. So it's not like I just woke up 3 years ago. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be spiritual. So like, no, I've been doing this. I've been, as you said, transmuting other people's bullshit unbeknownst to them. Because that's just my role. I was born into it. I just knew I was doing it for my family, for my friends, for my coworkers, for classmates, like strangers. And I'm at that point where I'm like, no, that's not mine. That's all your shit. Oh, does that make you uncomfortable? Oh, shocker. So it's just, age does not matter. Circumstance does not matter. Experience doesn't really matter. None of that shit matters. Just deal with your shit. It's yours.
Your shit. I've actually lost some friendships from being around people, my peers, and I say my peers because those that are actually in the same age group as me. In the past, I have lost some friends who I've literally called them up. They've come to me for healing sessions, because healing sessions were what I used to do before I was doing quantum healing hypnosis, and I still do them. But they were coming to me for healing sessions, and I'm feeling all their shit. And I'm like, this is you. No, it's not, Sonya. And I'm like, deal with your shit. You're going to have to wake up and let go. I can't filter this for you anymore, and I'm feeling this. And then I had to also, and that was a good practice for me. It was a good incident or incidents for me to learn to stop taking their stuff on.
Yes.
However, we know that right now in this time of huge phase 1 of ascension, we're literally in the bulk of our ascension right now, and we're in phase 1, and we'll get into that after we talk about still getting back to the portal. We know that we are in our human bodies, we are filtering so much of humanity's fear. I mean, how many of us since January have been feeling the collective consciousness fear through our bodies and knowing that something's coming. We saw the whole China thing coming in. I was feeling China's fear as it was starting to spread from last autumn, but in January, the fear started to pick up, and by March, we were all so put down by feeling the fear of the collective through our own bodies. And we were just like, oh my God. I mean, how many light workers were saying, oh my God, humans, would you just take one big breath, relax, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. I would wake up. Because my corporate jobs are still going on because I'm on the West Coast, so we were one of the last ones to shut down.
Yeah.
And so literally by the first week of March, I was waking up every morning and going, oh my God, humans, take a breath, calm down, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. I was feeling fear, anxiety, oh my God, like stop, it's okay, stop. And I was going to work and it was just like, oh my God. I'm like, stop, breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
And I know you can relate, like in those circumstances, when I was in my corporate job at the beginning of March, well, always, but especially in March, like people would just come to me and just, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, I don't know why. I just did that. I'm like, I do. It's fine. Just breathe. Just, everything's okay. If you're freaked out now, just hold on to your tits because like I'll take this now. I accept this now from you, but hold on. Just hold on and breathe. That's all you can do.
I had 2 corporate jobs. One of them is completely gone bankrupt. And the other one, I mean, I'm doing body work for on like too many people a week. And the fear that was going through my body from their body as I'm giving them fascial stretch therapy. And I mean, I'm in their field for, you know, a half an hour or an hour, and one after another. I would only get a 5 or 10 minute break in between each client. And this was a 4-week job. And it's just like, I mean, after just 2 hours, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. These people have so much fear. Oh my gosh. And that was in March. And I was the last body worker to close out the shop on March 16th. And those last 3 days, almost every client coming in were like, I'm amazed you're still open. I'm so happy you're still open. And to all their fear. It's all they're talking about during their body work. I'm just stretching them.
Yeah.
And all they're talking about is fear. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm just constantly, I have to be super cool, super professional because I worked for a corporation. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. We are in a global reset. It's going to be, this is what I had to tell everybody. It's going to be okay. And they were all coming to me for this. They know I'm a healer. And so they're actually not really coming to me for the body work. They're really coming to see me and to be calmed and to be nurtured and to be reassured. And they were just like, oh my God, Sonya, what do you think this is? It's okay. Yeah. Take a breath. I literally, there were some people I couldn't even stretch. I literally just had to put my hands, one hand on the shoulder, one hand on their hand, or one hand on a hip, and just go, we're going to breathe together. It's okay. Everything's going to be, oh, but the economy is going to be destroyed. It needs to be rebuilt. It's not working as it is. It's okay. I mean, that was what I was doing for the last 3 days.
And in my situation, no one knew that I was a healer or practitioner or anything like that because it was a retail scene. So people would just come up to me because they had to, because I was inventory lead, or I'm just on leave right now. And they'd just be like, I have no idea why I'm just so drawn to you right now. I'm like, I do, here's a card. Like, you may not know this about me, but like, oh, that makes so much sense. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is my hobby, being here. like, this is what I really do. And it would just blow people's minds. And it was fun. Now I'm out in the open, my many coming out, so it's, people are aware, and when they come to me, I love that it's very intended now versus just, I don't know why, I was just so drawn to you. So now it's, like I said, so much clarity, and there's no more hiding. And that's good and bad for depending on who you are and what you've been hiding. So
it's all good. I see it as it's all good. When people came to me in a corporation, and I didn't speak much because I couldn't, because I was actually being surveyed all the time. I was being surveilled all the time. I was being, there was a camera on my back, and I was being listened to by certain coworkers. And they finally said, you can't say I love you to people so loudly. It's making some of the other clients uncomfortable with the other practitioners. There were actually some girls that complained that I told them that I loved them, and they said that made them uncomfortable because they just didn't have that within themselves. Yes, these are things I had to deal with in the corporate world. So Sonya, we're hearing you use words like a light worker and And this was the conversation I was, because the body work wasn't in a private room. It was out in the open arena style where everybody else was getting body work as well by 3, 4, 5 other practitioners. And it was me, and we were just having conversations with our clients while we're giving them body work, and they're fully clothed, all of that. We're on benches, so it's not tables, there's benches, and there was, you know, oh, Sonya, we're hearing there's seems to be a lot of spiritual conversation between you and your clients. And if you could just not do that, that's not our corporate policy for you to be able to have those kind of conversations. And so I just was being muzzled at my 2 corporate jobs. One teaching yoga, and oh, Sonya, don't get too spiritual with your students. This is a gym, it's a corporate gym. And I'm just like, okay. And so I eventually would, because the corporate gym I was at for over 3 years, but the other job I was only at for a year. And so it was me saying to the clients when they were showing up, I had my card. I have these postcards that have my website on it and what I do. And I would say to them, we can't talk here. I know you come to me for healing. And they're like, I've come to you because I'm seeing this stuff around. I can see purple around you. What does that mean? Or I can see, you know, these little orbs and colors around you. What does that mean? Or I'm hearing this. And then I had this dream and you were there and I was told to come here and find you. That people were literally sent to me, literally energetically sent to me. And I would say to them, here's my card. This is what I really do. I'm here so you can find me, because you're in the corporate world. I'm here so that you can find me, but if you really want to have real healing with me, you're going to have to book private sessions with me. Here's what I really do.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. I kept saying to people, if you've seen the film The Matrix, I'm the team that goes in to extract Keanu Reeves from the system. That's me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I came into the Matrix to find you.
Yeah. Because of course, with any light worker can relate in their mundane 3D jobs, like, why the fuck am I here? And then you have this connection. It's like, oh, today, this is why. And it was awesome. I've had that so many times. And it wasn't until I created a business card, I was just able to be like, okay, listen, here. Like, let's stop here. We connected. Here's my card.
Yeah.
Just here's my card. And it's been an awesome transition. And I'm sure many can relate because they don't know how they're gonna, if they feel they are a light warrior, light worker, healer, practitioner. It's just create a business card, promote yourself.
You have to create a card, but first of all, you have to know what it is you're offering. So I help light workers to awaken. I'm a teacher's teacher. I'm a healer for healers and a teacher for teachers. So I help light workers, star seeds, way showers. I help you to get a practical, technical foundation for what it is. Number one, what are your superpowers? What are your gifts? And then if they don't know what it is they're offering, what are you attracted to? What do you do easily? What comes easy for you? Oh, well, I do that in my spare time, but you do that in your spare time. That's what you're here to do. That's one. Exactly. We don't have one offering. Star seeds, light workers, way showers, they bunch up. We have multi offerings because we learned them from multi-star systems or multi-dimensions from where we originated from. And so we're here to offer multiple things. It's usually not just one thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's one thing that's super, super powerful, but they already know what that is. But for most of us, it's multiple things. I not only practice multiple special gifts and talents, but I'm certified in way too many of those areas. I have so many certifications from so many different courses that I've taken, and those are all under the umbrella of quantum healing hypnosis, healing sessions, and life coaching. And it's just a potpourri. Whoever's, and just like you, whoever's in front of me, that whatever needs to come out, whatever technique that needs to come out, comes out for them. It just happens. It just presents itself. How do I know how it does that? I meditate every day so that I'm very much in my heart center, and it just comes up, and I trust the first thing, and there it comes, and there it comes, and it's always correct for them. It's the correct thing for them. It's the correct thing for them, and then it helps them. It helps them to be clear.
When I have someone question all that I do. I'm like, do you know what quantum means? Like, do you understand just that word alone, what quantum is? You know, so let's start there, because you will not comprehend if you're just like trying to look at this one limiting or perspective of something. It's quantum. We're quantum healers. We're living quantum lives in a quantum realm. It's quantum, 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 quantum. Google it.
It's quantum. It's multi-dimensional. Something else that I'm going to share right now, and then I want to go back into the portal thing.
Yes, I know, because we're quantum talking.
We're at all of this. Look at that. We opened a portal of a potpourri of subjects about the Solstice portal.
Yeah.
So what came up with all three of my clients this weekend? And I posted this actually yesterday on social media. This was my post. I posted a picture that I took yesterday while I went out for my hike after my client. So I always hike as much as I can. I found a little daisy. Now, my client yesterday, she had shared that she has a level of awareness when she is with others. But she pretends to be human. How many of us can relate to that? Yep.
No.
She pretends to be human, and she said, I observed myself giving the correct inflections, giving the correct hand gestures, saying the correct things, when I'm really here observing the whole thing going, oh my God, this is so fucking boring. Can we talk about what's really going on? She said, I see everything. I see everything that's going on. She said, what I really would love to talk about is the amazing colors I see around this person, or that I can, I can actually have my awareness over there simultaneously while I'm listening to her right here, and I can be completely present in both locations. She said things like that. And I said, oh, you're aware that you're a bilocator. And then she's like, oh, you know that term? And I'm like, of course. So she's saying to me, I know there's so much more to my life than what I'm experiencing right now. And she said, I'm ready for more. That's why she comes to me for healing sessions. She says, I'm ready for more. I'm ready for my life to pick up, but I feel completely stuck. She's too much in her mental body. Her mental body's dominant. Her emotional body's not been yet brought on to 0 point frequency online, because it's been damaged and it needs healing. So that's what she's coming to me for, is let's heal her emotional body. And she's experiencing physical problems because her emotional body is damaged. But she didn't understand that. So I was sharing with her how that works. So I said to her, look, here's how all of this works. We have frequencies. Everything is a frequency. Timelines are frequencies. When you see number codes, 111, 222, 333, 444, 717, whatever you see, those are timelines. Those are portals that open into different realities, different scenes of a movie. Let's talk in that way, because the left brain can understand that. And when you go quantum, you become multi-dimensional. So we're looking at, most humans are perceiving first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, and are now going into fourth dimension. And those are 4 very intense frequencies, and limiting, very, very limiting. In order to get into 5D, which is self-love, which is a channel, I said, these are like channels on a radio station. And I said, when you start to move into a new channel, you will perceive it first before you actualize it, before you experience it. You'll perceive it. You may be able to dip a toe into it. If you're trying to find it on the dial, you might hear a little bit of it, but you're basically going to hear static as you're trying to find channel 5D. Yeah. How do you get there? Meditation, self-love. You love absolutely everything. And that is going to be hard to your ego, because your ego doesn't deal with things that felt painful to it. You have to love the pain. You have to love the dark. You have to love the blood. You have to love the gore. You have to love the infection. You have to love the pus. And the ego goes, no, I don't want to deal with that. I don't ever want to see that anymore. No, you do. You have to go into the shit. Yeah. And when you do, you transform it. And then you're able to get into the 5th channel. And then once you get into 5D, there are all these other channels. Well, the higher you go in your vibration through self-love, the more you're going to be able to perceive these higher channels. So I was explaining that to her, and I posted this on my social media. It's self-love that gets you there, because it's self-love that gets you into unity love. We're going into unity consciousness. But if you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to vibrate to be the collective, because everybody's loving themselves. And when you love yourself and you realize you're the creator of your own reality, you can love everybody else because you realize they're a mirror reflection of you. And I said to her, this is not a concept. This is a reality. This is how I live. I don't experience conflict anymore. Do I experience things that could be perceived as challenging? I do, but because I see everything from a quantum perception of, I see all possibilities of everything. I see all these different timelines. I know I have choice. I know I have choice between more than 2 or 3 channels. I know I have multi-choices. Therefore, I'm able to stop, breathe, meditate, and feel everything. And if I need help, I'll ask my guides to come in. Give me some hints. Show me what would be the best way to do this or that, et cetera, et cetera. This is how I am living. I do not own a mask. I will not buy a mask. I don't wear a mask. I have an absolutely stellar immune system. I also posted on social media that wonderful digital created picture by somebody. Nobody was credited, or I would have credited them who made that. Is immunity is I'm unity.
Yeah, I love that.
And then you reposted that, which was so good.
Yeah.
It's true. And I found that I was like, yes, I am immune to the lower vibrations. My immune system is so high because I love myself. And that does show up physically, scientifically. My immune system is so strong because I've been practicing self-love for so long, for so many timelines, that it's built my body up into what some would probably see as a superhuman state. What I can do with my physical body, most people my age in their 50s can't, but most people your age in their 30s can't. Not even my kids in their 20s and teens can do what I do with my physical body.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you do this? It's called practice and self-love. So I was explaining to everyone about how frequency works. You have to go quantum. You have to, number one, go within, and then you have to rise up and see the plethora of opportunities, of timelines that are happening. So then she asked me, as we got into multi-dimensions and multi-selves, and she says, so there's all these different pockets of, I said, of realities. She goes, okay. I said, there's also multis of you. I said, there's multi-Sonyas. I said, if you have ever made plans for something and it didn't come into fruition, it did. It created a new timeline. And there's a you living that there. Like, I know I live in Arizona. I know I'm having multi-lifetimes in Arizona, and that's how I'm going to be able to get to Arizona and finally have a life there. And I see the hints. I see an Arizona license plate in the state of Oregon every day. I have seen an Arizona license plate, at least one daily, for more than 3 years. That's a sign.
Oh, yeah.
I've taken pictures of them. When we were driving down south for my birthday week last week, I shared with you on the way up, we saw 8. 2 of them were on U-Hauls.
Right. Yeah.
I know that I'm having
physics. I think just this past year they released an experiment that proves, for the one who wants to analyze everything, quantum physics has proven quantum realities. There is not one singular reality, and they proved that multiple times. So for those who want to do that research, I'll put a link down in the description.
Yeah, let's put a link in the description box
because
below.
there's so much information out there, so there's no denying it anymore. We are quantum beings living a quantum reality, and as you explained, you're seeing these signs of this unwalked paths, physical ones, but in another reality they are, and they're merging, they're coming together, and when you cross those paths, that's when you get a numerology, you get these synchronicities, or these messages of like, oh, cool, keep doing this. And then but there's also the signs that's saying that you aren't in alignment with something. It's just deciphering those, observing all of the quantumness of it, not just being stuck in this one, this is what I gotta do, gotta work my 9 to 5, and then I die. Like, it's, yes, that's the reality you choose. That's exactly what's gonna happen to you.
That's the timeline that you're playing in because you believe this is the only timeline. And so because of that, you created this as the only reality for you when there's a plethora of realities for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's mind-boggling for many, but it's,
well, this is what was mind-boggling for my client yesterday. Is she was like, wow. I said, you cannot use your left brain hemisphere for that because this is the logical side. The logical side has to take some time to be reprogrammed for that. You literally have brain cells here that need to get that information encoded in them so that you can conceive of that. You literally have to use the right side of your brain, the picture symbol intuitive side, which connects to the multi-brain, the source brain, the isness oneness brain. And then you feel that information in your heart center, literally. We have a separate consciousness here in the heart. I also, there's a video on YouTube with Greg Braden, who is a quantum scientist. And Greg Braden talked about how scientists, and I posted this on my life coaching group wall on Facebook, our private group wall. Greg Braden talks about how science has proven when they've gone in and doing scans, different types of scans in the heart, that the heart actually has, just like the gut, there's more nerves in your gut than there are in your brain. So you feel more in your digestive system, in your colon, than you do in your brain. As a colon hydrotherapist, I learned that in school.
Yeah.
There's a separate consciousness in the heart, in the actual heart chamber. There is a separate consciousness, and it is a very expansive feeling consciousness. And you have to align the brain's consciousness with the heart consciousness. And there's a whole technique of that called heart math. And heart math is taught by, there's several people, we should probably put that link in the description box down below. And Drunvalo Melchizedek, the amazing flower of life teacher. I studied with Drunvalo starting in 1995. I'm not one of his flower of life certified practitioners, but I have studied the flower of life technique and the heart math technique. Now, I love the heart math technique because it connects the brain with the heart, which gets you online with 0-point frequency. And then you can understand quantum multidimensional living in multiple timelines because you're feeling it. And feeling is the key. And then the left brain hemisphere will merge with the right brain hemisphere to become that one universal, multiversal mind, which attaches you then, connects you to the Akash, the Akashic records. And then that gets that information to download into your heart chakra. In yoga, the Anahata chakra, the central chakra of the body. This is where the higher self comes in. And then people go, how do you channel? This is how you channel. And everyone has this ability to channel. You have to get yourself back online in your 0-point frequency. Tap in, and Abraham Hicks says, tap in, tune in, turn on. Right. All of these
humans are the most amazing processing machines ever built. And people don't, if you need to think of it that way, fine. If you have this amazing processing computer where you're only using half of what it's capable of doing, you're going to get half of its peak performance. So therefore, when you get rid of all the viruses, clean it up, do all the whatever mechanical work you have to do, same thing with us. So have that balance of connection, as you said, get back online. And once you get that alignment back, it's just, like you literally are plugged back in and just everything makes sense, but it's not going to if you're only using a fraction of what you're capable of comprehending. So it's
you have to, and once again, meditation is an easy practice. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon. Go outside, sit by a tree. Literally, yes, I'm doing the hippie thing of telling you to sit by a fucking tree. And I'm not a hippie, but I'm telling you to do so. Go sit by a tree and become one with the tree and close your eyes and feel the tree. Feel it. Practice feeling. Literally feel the hairs on your skin and feel the atmosphere on your skin. When you're meditating, practice on feeling everything. That'll get you focused right here. And when you feel everything, like right now I'm feeling the wall. I'm feeling the air coming from the open window in my studio. I'm feeling all of this. Feel it. We're here to feel. We're feeling beings because feeling is vibration. And everything is vibration. Everything. It's just different levels of vibration. Just like Tony, mantra. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. That's the peace mantra. That is, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be free. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokam, just like the Om. Om is the sound of oneness, of allness, of isness. Oh, ah is the vowel sound for the heart chakra. Brings you into a vibration that brings that higher vibration into the heart and into the physical. You'll feel the vibration. Everything's about feeling the vibration. Once you do, you will get focused right here, right now. Om, you don't even need to know Sanskrit. You don't even need to know the Loka or the Om Bud Bud Vasvaha. You don't need to know Sanskrit in order to know these things. Just Om, or just hum, It'll get you so focused, you'll come back into your heart. You're going to start to see, hear, know, and feel the four clairs: voyance, audience, sentience, cognizance. You're going to start to feel everything, see everything. You're going to start to see orbs. The more you do that, and then it's going to help you to clean up your diet as well. Because when you have a clean diet, you have a clean system. And you're going to be able to experience what is normal. People think that the sixth sense, it's not a sixth sense, it's actually 4 other senses: voyance, audience, sentience, cognizance, that are our natural abilities to be able to feel other frequencies. That also brings you into being quantum as a reality. And then you can consciously choose the timeline to go down into. I have consciously chosen being here in Portland, Oregon, and where I'm consciously choosing the next portal, and I'm seeing, I spend time observing what's coming in. Arizona has been hinting in for a long time. I've already investigated Arizona. I've been to Arizona many times. I went to health school in Arizona, in Phoenix. So I've lived there for a little while. So I'm like sensing all these things and seeing potential timelines of when this could come in, and I am consciously choosing how we're going to get there, how it's going to align, asking my guides for help, et cetera, et cetera. This is how we are. We are creators and co-creators in the physical, just from all of this. And that is quantum. And when you are in your heart center, it's fucking fun.
So much fun, because you're in charge versus all the external stimuli, especially these little fuckers right here. Like, so just as you said, you connect with the tree. If you're taking that choice to not do that, you're choosing to connect with a device or this bullshit or that distraction, or so just let all that go for just 5 minutes a day. Start there. And it's a practice. And the more you do it, the more you won't need anything else, honestly, because everything else is just fun. It all becomes so much fun. It's entertaining. That's because you're observing it. You're not consumed in it. You are it without being controlled by it. Whatever it is, it's different for everyone, but I love my trees. I don't think I'm a hippie. Maybe I'm a modern hippie. Look at me. But
I mean, the hippie thing, the whole hippie thing.
With all these titles and the stigmas behind them, it's just, ugh.
Like we need to, that word hippie needs to be left with the baby boomers. That's their word. They're the ones who did Woodstock. The baby boomers did Woodstock. I'm happy for you. You know, if you want to put on labels, I'm Gen X. We're badass. We created punk. You have blue hair because of us. You're welcome. You have piercings because of us. You're welcome. You have black nails because of us. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We are the ones who are like throwing tomatoes. I don't protest because I've already done it. I did it in the 80s. Blah blah blah. It's like you guys are all doing that because of us in our 50s. You're welcome. So it's like, no, we need what we are. I love the term starseeds and way showers.
Yeah.
We are here. We're way showers. We're here to show the way to new earth. Damn it. That's us.
My new favorite term is light warriors, because having to tap into that warrior aspect of light workers, because it's not work. It makes it sound very mundane. We're in an energetic war, for fuck's sake. Get your swords out, sharpen them up, like, get ready. Because no one's going to fight your fight. Like, do your shit.
We are warriors. People have many times, well, you know, you've probably heard some of these same terms. Since I was a teenager, I have had I lost count, literally. Many people ask me, are you human? And I'm just, no, I'm not. I'm in this body, but I'm not human. They're like, because you don't seem like anybody else I've ever met. You don't seem human. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I always say I am, but do you want to know what more we are? Like, are you ready for that rabbit hole? Yeah.
I mean, I've shared with people, I say to people, I'm superhuman, I'm galactic human, because that's where we're going into 5D is what we would think of as superhuman and galactic human. I'm like, I'm galactic. I know my first conscious awareness life after being extracted from source isness. I know the other planets and star systems that I have experienced as a being in that place. I also know that I'm a member of the Galactic Federation of Light. I have multi lives in the Galactic Federation of Light, and I'm traveling on starships, and I'm going to different star systems and learning and exploring. That's one of the reasons why when I watched Star Trek as a child, I'm like, that's me. I'm that. That's where I live. That's me. That's where I go. I go there when I sleep. I go there when I'm in between bodies. I knew that from being a small child. So we are galactic humans. We are warriors. When people have called me a woman, and I'm like, but that leaves out the man in me. I'm a man too. I'm like, you know, I'm male and female. I just have this great goddess form. And I like the terms goddess, goddess warrior, light warrior, starseed. I've definitely told many people many times, I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior soul. I am here to make dramatic change now. And they're like, oh, you're intense. And people either love me or they do not like me at all. There's no gray area with how people feel about me. It's either, oh, I love you, I have to learn from you, or, oh my God, you're so intense, I got to get away from you.
Yeah, I definitely had both. And even the ones that were like, okay, guy, like, you're crazy. A year or two later, they're like, Kenny, you don't believe what just happened to me. I'm like, no shit. Wow, good for you. Welcome. And just, especially this past year, obviously, with all this crazy shift, so many people are like, oh my God, Kenny. I'm like, yep. Yeah. Are you ready now? like, let's go. You ready to have that talk that made you uncomfortable 3 years ago? Like, nothing's changed for me. I have more words now, maybe, but that's about it. I have a YouTube channel. Do you care now? For fuck's sake.
Oh my goddess. I had all of my early teachers when I was in my 20s, in the 80s and early 90s. And I've had a lot of human teachers. I've had a lot of spiritual teachers. I've had a lot of psychics. Yeah. I've had a lot of guides. And they all of them, every single one, most of them were women, said to me, I know you feel like a freak of nature. I'm like, and at that time, it's like, I don't fit in anywhere, and I'm so weird, and oh my God, I'm a vegan, and I'm an indigo, and nobody thinks that I'm human. And they're like, we know that you feel really, really weird, and that's really hard for you. And like, I don't have my family, I don't have my job. We know, but the day is going to come when you're going to be sought after for what it is that you know and how you're going to help people. And I'm like, when? And they're like, when you're in your 50s. And I'm like, shoot me now.
Yeah.
At the time, and I knew. I mean, this was going all the way until I was 45.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up until 45. And the last, I don't know, psychic or reader that I did a trade with, she was like, oh, she's like, your time is coming soon where you're going to be popular. I'm not popular now. We're at it. I am sought after by certain people who are ready to turn themselves back on.
Yes.
To turn on. And I've had the conversation with probably maybe a handful of starseeds where they're, you know, in March, Sonya, and I'm like, I told you this was coming. It's not like we haven't talked about this. It's not like you haven't been prepared. You've had how many sessions with me, and you've been in how many of my yoga classes? I mean, come on. It's not like I didn't prepare. You weren't paying it. You thought what? You thought this was the X-Files? What? You thought this was a fantasy? No, I told you this was coming. I told you when I say the event, we say the event, this is it. It's not one thing.
No.
It's a transition that's going to take a while. I've been preparing you. And you didn't like that then. You didn't want to talk about that, but oh, now you want to talk about that because now you want help. Because you didn't do your work. You didn't do your internal work.
Mm-hmm. Like when I first became certified as a BQH practitioner, like I offered, I think it was for Christmas, I just gave all my closest loved ones, I'm like, here's a free session. Did one of them take it? No. Now they're like, when can we have our session? I'm like, oh, well, things have changed. So we'll do something, but it's when you think of it linearly, it is just like, oh, fuck, it's been X amount of time. But when you're QuanTuM, you realize there has been no time in between any of these events. It is all, as you said, the event. And I love it. I fucking love it because, as you said, we have been waiting for this for so long. And yes, we have some linear age difference between us, but I've always known from the get-go, hey, Kenny, when I'm a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't fucking know. But when I turn 33, something's going to happen. Like my life starts at 33. I know I'm going to be a father. And when I'm in my 30s, something's going to happen. That's all I've ever known. And it's just been playing the game up until now. And here we fucking are, folks. We're here. This is what's happening.
We have arrived. I was told by my first teacher, Patricia Mandino, when I started seeing her, I think when I was 20 back in the 80s. She said, she called it a timeline. I learned some of my starseed language actually from her. She helped to kind of start to reactivate me again. She said, I see a timeline for you from between the ages of 48 and 53, that it's all going to shift. And so when I turned 48, I was like, I'm ready. And then 49, I'm like, I'm ready. And I didn't even celebrate 48 or 49. I made myself 50. I celebrated 50 for about, because 50's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
50's fun. So I was 50 for a while. Now I'm just I'm focused on 55 because I like the 5 and the change.
Right.
But I'm like, and then I turned 50 and then I'm like, come on. And then I turned 51 and I'm like, come on. And 52. And I'm like, and I had no idea, when she's like that timeline, I didn't know she meant the end.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, honestly, when I had a huge cathartic shift on November 11th, because I'm an 11/11. I'm born June 11th, and Sonya Wilder equals 11. So I'm an 11/11. I'm an awakening code. And so on November 11th of 2011 at 11:11 p.m., try that. The Four Directions Archangel showed up in my kitchen while I was making kale chips. And so did the angelic realm with them. And that was a huge awakening for me. And I thought we were going into the event then. I mean, for me, that was a prep for December 21st of 2012. So I really wasn't, I mean, we all thought that December 21st of 2012 was going to be the big end of the world as we know it and going in. And I was ready. And when it didn't happen, I had huge shifts, huge shifts. My whole life changed, but I was waiting for the rest of the world to change and it didn't. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why am I still doing all? Okay, I changed. I had a huge awakening. I changed, but nobody else did. And I'm like, what? And you know, I'm saying to the guys, what the fuck? Like, why hasn't the world changed? Hang on, it's coming. When? And I heard 2020. And I'm like, 2020? That's so fucking far away. No.
And I never even factored all my years that I turned 33 in 2020. I never even thought of that until this year. I'm like, oh shit. Like, it's all happening. This is it. Never thought it was going to be COVID. No one ever did. There's not one psychic, medium person who ever predicted COVID. Not one. Because that wasn't a natural cause. So, but they knew something was going to change.
It wasn't a natural call. So the event was supposed to be a coronal flash that waves around the globe. And because the vibration wasn't high enough, not enough star seeds were awake to anchor in 5D. Those of us that were already anchored in 5D weren't powerful enough to raise the vibration so that the coronal flash was a flash, a solar flash, instead of a virus, because there was too much fear. So because the vibration was so low, it ended up being, and it's not a virus, it's actually a bacteria. It's a bacteria. But it still has the name coronal on it. It's still coming from the sun, but the vibration isn't high enough yet so that it is not coming out as a solar flash of divine spectral light to raise the vibration. That is coming. The solar flash is coming. That will come. I'm getting it'll come by 2024.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. So let's go because that'll lead us up to the phases. I want to talk about the 6 phases, but before that, let's go back to Friday when the solstice, eclipse, new moon, 7 planetary retrograde alignment came in. It opened up on Thursday evening is when I started to feel some sensations on the crown chakra. Friday morning, I felt a vibration shift on Friday morning. And I felt the vibration started to become jittery, and some will interpret that as anxiety, a little anxious.
Yeah, I call it buzzy.
Yeah, buzzy. That's the vibration increasing, and I started to feel that. Friday, I had at noon, we had that call with Lauren Lockman of Tanglewood Wellness Center, and I could feel it then. I felt during that, because that was at noon for me. And that was a almost 2-hour call on Zoom. By 1 o'clock, I started to feel an intense burning on the top of my head, which I knew was solar coming in. And suddenly I was exhausted and I was having a hard time keeping my head upright for the recorded session. And I'm like, oh, the solstice portal has just opened wide. Yeah. And that afternoon, I mean, I went out for a walk because I just wanted to be in the sun, and I just felt the intensity on my crown. It just felt like a singeing burning, and I've had that before many, many times, especially this year. And then just exhaustion. It's like having a hard time literally holding my physical body up as I'm out walking in the sun, and I'm like, I'm going to probably need to go in and lie down. So I did. I had to lie down, but then you lay down, and then you're like, trying to rest, and you can't rest because you're like, oh my God, okay, all this vibration's coming in. And you're lying down, and I close my eyes and just flash, flash, flash. I'm just seeing all these lights flash. And so I'm going, oh boy, there's a lot. Well, then I go on to my life coaching group on our communication that we have online. And I'm letting everybody know, intense solar power going on, you guys. The portal is wide open, and people are chiming on going, I'm so exhausted. Oh my God, I have to go to sleep. And I have an intense migraine on the right side is what people are talking about.
That's what I had, yeah.
Share what you had.
I sent something along because I was on that call with you, and it was around that same time. I was like, oh, here we go. Something's shifting. And then we had to run errands after, and I got a migraine just out of nowhere. And I don't get those very often anymore. And I needed to lay down, but I couldn't because we were out and about doing things. And your body will tell you, especially when you're as sensitive as we are, like, you need to go lay the fuck down, go in nature, do something, because a lot of shit is transmuting right now, but I didn't have the opportunity. And so by the time I got home, I was just felt like garbage because I didn't allow that release of all the energies. And so I just passed out. And so that's why, like, it's hard for me to say if it was Thursday to Friday because it was all a blur to me. So I was just like, I got to do these physical things, but there's so much shit going on back here. And then I just zonked out for like 12 hours and I slept so good. And I felt amazing ever since then. The past 3 days have been bliss. And there's so much clarity and so much observing of the bullshit, which is triggering to my ego and human, as we spoke about before. Just like, people, like, wake the fuck up. Like, how much more shit you have to put yourself through. Like, aren't you sick of feeling like shit? Like, I am. I really am. So let's do something. Let's do something here. So that's just where I've been in the energies of, like, I have no time for that. I have no time for this. I'm just focusing on holding and anchoring these high vibrational frequencies because I've taken on too much for too long, as you can attest to yourself, of just absorbing versus observing. And
Ooh, hashtag. Yeah. Absorbing versus observing.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down, Kenny. Hashtag. Yeah. Kenny hashtag. We have to point Kennyism.
My Kennyisms. Yeah, I love my Kennyisms.
And Sonya-isms.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
So that's something that all my life I've been practicing that, but just more blatantly and sharing it. Now this platform that we've created together, just, you don't have to be burdened and weighed down by all this shit. Let it go.
What was it again? I'm writing down the hashtag.
Absorbing versus observing. So of course, if you take in and consume all this bullshit, and again, consumption isn't food always, it's everything, all the stimuli, all the media, all the technology, all the devices. It's stop absorbing the shit, observe it. Do you need to do that? Do you need to watch that? Do you need to read that? Love it.
Kennyisms. Your hashtag. I'll send that.
I have a whole
I've got a list now. I'm just going to add to this.
Yeah.
In my note.
I love that.
I'm going to add to the Kennyisms list. That's a good one. That's a good one. That was a good capture. That had to be captured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, we're just at that point where the human cannot consume any more toxicity. We're done. We're at a frequency of vibration collectively that it's not penetrable anymore. For those that have done their work, yes, and that's why they have disease and discomforts, but we're not. Yes, we may have those moments of a download of like, oh, something feels weird, but that's not a constant always thing. It's because we're observing it. We're like, wait a minute, I just got a twitch in my arm. I got a tingle here. It's observing. Just observe it. What is it telling you? What are you telling you? It's just. Also,
here's a thing too, for Starseed Way Showers. Where is it coming from? So this is how I help people to understand, is it yours or your family lineage coming from your own cells, your DNA, or is it coming from someone else?
Yeah.
You have to get so finely tuned. Meditation gets you there, people. You have to get so finely tuned, so detailed that, is it coming from out, in, or up to down, or from bottom to up? What direction is it coming from? Or is it coming from within and up here? Within and up here. Is it coming from within your body? Because if it's coming from within your body, it is yours from your DNA, and that could be family lineage, or it's coming from your own wounded ego. It's coming from your own other lifetimes. It's coming from your own programming. It's coming from that. So you have to get really discerning. That's how you know the difference between absorbing versus observing as well. You have to observe it, and understand if it's coming from external, you don't absorb it. No, don't claim it. Transmute it to nature. Here's an energy clearing technique that I do that I want to share here. You don't even have to pay for a healing session with me in order to learn this. I'm giving you a freebie today. And I actually learned this from a Reiki master who's a colleague of mine. So what you do when you get energies that are coming onto your auric field from others, you clear them. You send them to the walls. You send them to nature. You send them out the window. You send them to the plants. You send them to the light. You send them anywhere. You do not take them on yourself. You clear it. So literally, if I feel something coming, I'll literally point my finger in a direction. Clear, clear, and say clear, because your words create your reality. Clear, clear. Send it off. Send it on its way and move on. Move on. Don't even think about it anymore. You cleared it. It's done. Move on to the next thing. Be in your now. Be right here, right now. How do you get here, right now? Kenny, how do you get right here, right now? Through what?
Meditation.
Meditation. Meditation.
Yes.
Meditation. Meditation.
I love it. Like, I couldn't imagine people who said that it doesn't jive with me. It makes no sense to me. Like,
Oh, I find meditation confusing. Meditation's boring. Oh, I don't resonate with meditation. Oh, I tried it. It was really complicated. It didn't feel good.
So I say, you like feeling like shit. Is what you're telling me.
All right, so speaking of that, so then as the portal is really coming on and is activating,
yeah,
you know, I was resting, but what I had the exact opposite experience. I could not sleep. And my body wanted to, but there was so much vibration going on that I felt, okay, I can't rest, so I'm going to be super productive. So I got lots of shit done. And I moved a lot. I did a lot of jumping on my Bellicon. I took a ton of walks outside. I was outside and actually got a lot of online work done, and I got a lot of little detail things done, which was really good. But here's what ended up happening. And this is what we started our talks with, and now I'm coming around to this.
QuAnTuM.
QuAnTuM, that's right, very quantum. And it's easy for us to be quantum. And I want to share with everybody, being quantum is so fucking fun.
It is.
Fast.
Limitless. It's so much fun.
You can do so much being in a quantum perception. Just like, oh yeah, oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's like really fun to be able to multitask and to be completely conscious of everything you're doing. 4 different, 5 different, 6 different times. And I'm like, oh yeah. They're like, oh yeah, I got you. Oh, yep. It's fun.
So much fun.
So much fun. So I was super productive. So Friday night, I could not go to sleep. And going into Saturday, the 20th, and it was just so profound. And Saturday was profound. And I can't go to sleep. And I don't even remember when it was. I think it was Saturday night into Sunday. Because that whole Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night was so big. The energy was so high. And I blinked. And suddenly it was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, and I had laid down before that and I did a quantum jump. I laid down on my bed. And my kids were gone and they were with friends. And I'm here by myself. And I went to lie down and it was before midnight. I think this was on Saturday. This was Saturday. I lay down before midnight, still in my clothes, still planning to go out for another walk because I'm got so much vibration going on. And I literally closed my eyes, felt the space, and then opened my eyes again. And and I opened my eyes and all of a sudden I felt this huge shift and I went, oh, and I look around my room and I see that my lights were on and I didn't know how my lights got on because the room looked completely different. And I saw that my lights were on. I'm lying in my bed and I've got my day clothes on. I still have eye makeup on because I wear eye makeup. I still had eye makeup on, hadn't brushed my teeth, hadn't washed my face. And I was like, something happened. I was just lying here. Well, I look at the clock and an hour had gone by. And I was like, oh, I jumped. because the room looked completely different.
Yeah.
And I got up and my body felt completely different. And I had made a juice, but I had been laying down so long that I hadn't drank my juice. So I'm like, it's the middle of the night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, so I don't go out for a walk. I get my juice. I get into my pajamas. I washed my face and I'm drinking my juice. And there's just so much download. And then I drink my juice. I'm doing some stuff online and I blink and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. How is this happening? I'm jumping so much. I'm jumping through hours. I have to lie down. If I don't lie down, because I knew I had to wake up and I had a client the next morning. And I'm like, I have to lie down at least and try. So I get myself ready for bed fully. I lie down. I look at the clock. It's 2:12. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't stayed up this late in years.
Yeah.
I'm lying there and I wear earplugs. So I have organic earplugs. I put my earplugs in and I'm lying there. And all this energy is coursing through me. And so I said, okay, I'm clearly not leaving my body the way I usually do. Let's do an out-of-body experience. So I started focusing on an out-of-body experience. I started focusing on lift up out of the body to the ceiling. Lifting up, and I'm just breathing. And it starts. I can hear my heart beating like it's behind me, and the breathing. And I'm doing Ujjayi breathing, which is a yogic breath that sounds like Darth Vader breathing. It's very intense, and I can hear that. And the body starts to vibrate. It starts to go numb, and I start to lift up out of the body. Well, then that's when everything started to happen for me. All of a sudden, there's all this vibration in the body. The body just starts to jitter. And the purple shows up, and all of a sudden purple colors and purple waves and purple and indigo and cobalt blue and purple and these waves, and they're all coming from my third eye. Waves and waves, and they're washing over my body, and my body's doing this with these waves. And I'm feeling and I'm asking my guides, what's going on? And I hear your light body's activating. And I can hear my guides, and it's a familiar masculine voice. And I was like, wow. So I'm floating just above my body. I can't fully get out of it, but I can feel the cord that is attached to my light body, that's attached to my umbilicus, the solar plexus chakra. I can feel the cord and just color, purple, gold coming in with the purple, blue, indigo, and then some rainbow light is coming in. I'm like, wow. And so I'm focusing on getting to the door. Nope. Instead, what ends up happening is I can start to feel my 7 main chakras activate. And the body is vibrating. And I start feeling, and then I hear, and I'm like, wow. And I feel the root. And so what I was explaining to my life coaching group, the root chakra for women is literally at the labia, the vagina, and the perineum. And it started to vibrate and open up around the whole pelvic bowl. And the Kundalini energy is like a coiled snake right at the root chakra started to activate for me. And I haven't felt this in a long time. I have felt Kundalini activation before. This activated and went up through my spine. I could feel it going to the chakra back here, the well of dreams, the 8th chakra, and all the way up to the crown. And the whole body turned on, and the heart started to vibrate and expand. And suddenly I am multi-orgasmic. I am going through orgasm. And I'm just like, I can feel my mouth going, wow, as I'm just lying there, and it's just the whole body. And all of a sudden, purple starts to come in and just shoots out. And I turned my light body back on is what I did. And then, and I was thinking of Drew Melchizedek, because in the Flower of Life activation that he teaches and creates, it's to turn your Merkaba back on, which is the Star of David. But actually, as we talked about with the work of Lucia Renee, who is my last physical teacher that I've had, Lucia Renee says it's actually not a Star of David. It's 2 triangles upside down with their wide flat parts put on top of each other. Yes, but it's not that.
No.
That's the Merkaba, or the Merkaba, as some people would call it. Our auric field, when it is turned back on, actually looks like a diamond.
Okay.
So it's two wide flat parts put together so that you are conscious, and you have a point at the bottom and a point at the top. So it's the diamond, so you can leave your body consciously. You can come out of it and go back in it consciously. You have total control over how you come in and out of your body. That's what your light body is supposed to look like, a diamond. So what the Merkaba or the Merkaba is we've been turned off by having the two triangles smushed together, and that is the form of the Star of David, the Merkaba or the Merkaba. That is not what our active light bodies look like. Our active light bodies look like a diamond.
Okay. Full
points, full flat bottoms together, full, whole, not smushed together, not compressed, not segregated, but whole, full diamond. Well, that activated for me on Saturday going into Sunday. And purple, my soul signature color is purple indigo, and it is powerful. And I've taken pictures of it with my phone. No, that is not the phone doing that. My phone, our cell phones, our smartphones will be able to see our auric field. You can capture it in the sun. You can capture it in light. I have for years. And that's what I saw, that just vibrant color and just the love, feeling all of this love. Everything was love. It was just love. That's all there is. That's all there is love. And this love, and then this expansion that went out to everyone. You were there with me. Dana, my best friend, was there with me. Em and Sarah, my twin best friends, were there with me. My parents, my children, my siblings, everybody. Gerald was there. Everybody, your son, everybody was there. I felt everyone. Even more names I haven't named here. All my life coaching group people, all my clients, everybody I've ever worked with, everybody. Candace, quantum healer, everybody. Dolores Cannon, everybody. Everyone was there. And I felt everyone's energy, and I felt our connection. I felt how we express our individuality by being connected, but to our own frequency. I felt all of that. And I was vibrating, and the waves of orgasm. I could feel how the chakras, the 7 main chakras, I could feel how they connect to my physical body. I could feel the physical sensations of the energy wheels. I could feel the glands in my endocrine system, Kenny. I felt the root going up into the vagina and connecting to the cervix. I felt the sacral wheel connect to the ovaries and the uterus. I felt the solar plexus chakra literally connect to the umbilicus inside the belly button. I literally felt my physical heart and its attachment to the heart chakra. I literally felt the larynx connect to the throat. I literally felt the pineal gland and the pituitary gland connect to the brow. I literally felt the brain connect to the crown. I was feeling all this. This must have gone on all night long. And then I finally just rose up out of my body. But I left my body in this incredible state of waving orgasm. And that is our natural state of being. That is how we are supposed to be living and feeling. Different waves, different nuances, and all of the color spectrum. And being able to leave our body consciously and come back in consciously. It was profound and lasted. And while I was in it, I was observing the whole thing as me saying, Kenny, we're going to have the most amazing talks on Tuesday when I bring this up. And I was talking to you. I was talking to Dana, because she and I had talked that night before all of this through WhatsApp. And I was talking with everybody that are my key people in my life right now. Em and Sarah, my goddess twin best friends, you, Dana, my children. I was talking with all of us saying, this is how we live. This is how we are actually naturally. And the ability, all of the abilities that we have, the ability to create the elements and change the elements, what we would call it as telekinesis, all of that, telepathy. That's all just natural. This is natural. There's only love. That's it. And that to the ego seems maybe too simple or trivial or naive. No, it's not. Yeah. Stop fucking saying that love is boring. Love is all shades of everything. Love is different nuances. Love is the intricate verb and the noun and the adjective. Love is action. Love is receding. Love is sitting. Love is taking charge. Love is all, it's all of that. It's all of that. It's everything. It's never boring. Never. Never. And the ego is going to have to heal. It's just going to have to fucking heal already and get on it. Because if your ego is holding you back from experiencing this, heal now. Because you are missing out on who you really are. You are
No
missing
more excuses.
You really are.
Yeah. And I feel like in those moments, again, your words are always so profound. But like when I've had those many experiences, I call it like a energetic orgasm or an energetic implosion. It's like a nebula star. Like you just reach that like 0 point of just like, and then just poof. There's like all this love and light and just acceptance, compassion, all the good feelies. There's no words for it. It's ineffable. It's just one of the best feelings, experiences, and we all are capable of it. And I love your words so much. And I'm so glad you shared that. I've been looking forward to hearing you explain what happened. So I knew you would do it so poetically.
Well, because then I left you a messenger voice message the next morning. I'm like, Kenny, and my voice was completely.
No, you did not sound the same. Yeah.
My voice was completely changed, and it continued. And I only had 4.5 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had had days of sleep. I had so much energy yesterday, Sunday. And I had a level of calm. There's a level of calm that has settled in. I mean, it just continued yesterday, and it hasn't stopped. I'm seeing more colors. Outside looks much more colorful. It's easy. I mean, I'm reading everything in less than a nanosecond. It's easy for me to just pick up on everything now. It's just, yeah. I mean, I obviously had a huge light body activation. While I was in it, I asked a lot of questions because I was like, well, let's take advantage of getting answers right now. We're being, I mean, I'm lying there and I'm like purple and orgasm and feeling everything. And so I was asking my guides, I said, I can hear you better now, can't I? And I heard, and it's the masculine me. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing what we would call the twin flame voice of the higher aspect of the self. I was hearing him, and who sounds like a masculine version of me. And I said, so what's going on with these phases? Please explain this so I can share this with everyone. We're in 6 phases of ascension, moving towards 2025 when we start the age of Aquarius, when all the planets line up in the Aquarian constellation. And we will be going back into unity consciousness. Aquarius is unity. It's about the collective. And so we're moving towards that. I'm told, there is a 6-phase step in order to get there. And some will see it as unfortunately, but we are still in phase 1. Sorry to share that, but we are. We are still in phase 1. We are finishing phase 1. Phase 2 will be more. It will be more difficult. It will be more challenging. Phase 1 is going to be challenging. There will be a second virus that will be released. That's fear. It is a lower vibrational manifestation of fear. And there will be a second quarantine lockdown. That won't happen right away is what they shared with me, but it will happen eventually. I'm getting that it will happen before the end of 2020. And what they shared with me, they meaning my collective, they jokingly call themselves the J team for me. J for justice. Like the Justice League, it's a Super Friends.
Right. Yeah.
The J team. What they shared with me was that we're going to have waves of intense disclosure. Disclosure isn't just about learning about extraterrestrials and our galactic family. Disclosure is first learning about all of the draconian, reptilian shit on this planet. And they've been brought up from the dumbs folks, but they haven't been publicly, it hasn't been made publicly about the child sex slaves. That will be revealed. It has to. We have to see. We have to see what's been going on. And as you and I shared before we did the recording, There's a lot of starseeds that want to stay in denial and don't want to look at the pus of the infection. But guess what, folks? You have to look at the pus because we all came here to help heal the infection. You can't avoid seeing the pus and the infection in order to heal it. You have to look at what's happened to children and women. All these timelines. I mean, way more than the current generation. This has been for multi-thousands of timelines.
Mm-hmm. And so, also observing why. Like, it's just one thing, because when I've shared these horrific things, people are like, okay, now I know this, thanks. Fucking what am I supposed to do with that? It's like, just hold on to it. Anchor, stay in love, because not everyone is even at the stage that you are just acknowledging what I just shared with you. Because so many people are just so brainwashed and conditioned and unaware. And that's what's allowing it to go on, because not acknowledging it is allowing it. So we're reaching that point where it cannot be capped anymore. It's about to fucking explode, and that's going to blow a lot of people's minds and their realities and their paradigms. And that's the year, the time, the event that we're in, that we're creating. Because why would we allow this to be going on to another person, another human? No more.
No more.
No fucking more.
No
so
more.
It's gonna be a process, but
it has to be exposed. It has to be seen. I have already seen images of the child victims, and it's horrific. And I practice yoga when I see it. I practice being the observer, and I hold my heart open. It is, and people say, I don't want to see that. Yeah, they experienced it. Guess what? And this was something, and I'm quoting, and I can't remember her name, and it hasn't come to me. I'm quoting a woman who is an advocate and a fighter for child sex slaves. And and I watched an interview with her yesterday on YouTube, and she said, if they have had to endure this, then we have to learn what it is they had to endure in order for us to help them heal it. So guess what? I know this isn't pretty, and this isn't pleasant, and this is very difficult. For some of you, this is horrific. And she said it is horrific, but you have to know what they've experienced. I have seen pictures of children that are half eaten. I have seen pictures of the children that have the panda eyes from being repeatedly daily sodomized. I have seen pictures of, I saw a picture of a child, a toddler, on a table on a banquet plate being prepared to be eaten, and the child is alive. And the look on that child's face is probably one of the most horrific things I have seen. I have seen this, and as I see this, I hold a tremendous amount of light. I hold a tremendous amount of love for all souls, not just the victim, but for the perpetrators as well, for the ones who are doing this. They need so much love and compassion. They need the forgiveness. They need it, and I'm here to give it to them. And I call in the angelic realm to bring them into healing. I call in the four directions archangels for assistance. When you are seeing these images, when you hear things, last night, as I told you, I listened to an audio that is supposedly Epstein abusing a child in a shower. And I went in there and I listened to it because I wanted to hear so that I could help to transmute it, to help heal it. That is my job. That is one of the things that I came here to do, was to be a healer. I am a healer. I heal myself, and therefore I extend that healing to others from my higher vibration through my heart. And I brought that child that was screaming in that audio. I was like, oh my gosh. And that child is just screaming, and I just brought that through my body. I brought it through my body, and I put purple light, purple light. Purple, the purple frequency is the Christed frequency. Christ consciousness, self-love. Christed has nothing to do with religion. Nothing. It is about self-love. It comes from the 9th dimensional vibration of the Ascended Masters. And you hold that purple frequency in your field and in your heart, and you transmute all of that low vibration right through your heart, and you just dissolve it with purple. That is our job, and it's your job. And I'll share, I'm going to quote one of my teachers, Dr. Susan Lawton. Dr. Susan Lawton is a PhD in aromatherapy. She's my aromatherapy teacher. She's a great spiritual teacher. And when I took her course, I took her workshops back in 2011, 2012, and 2013. And she helped me to become an aromatherapist. She said to us, we were part of her super secret healers group. She made that term up. I didn't. Super secret healers group. Dr. Sue. Dr. Sue's awesome. She's a fierce chick. You think I'm intense? Oh, no. Dr. Sue is intense. She's born at Halloween. You don't fuck with her. Oh yeah. She's carrying that intense Scorpio energy.
Yeah.
She would walk around our conference room and say, and she's from Minnesota and she lives in New Jersey, so she's got that Minnesota thing. So, but she's got that She's also got the Chicago She says, it is your job as light workers to hold the light and bless everything, no matter where you are. When you go into a space, it is your job to light it up. You turn that light on, and I don't care if you have to visualize yourself as a lighthouse, a flashlight, a torchlight, or fire. Wherever you go, it is your job to be a transmuter of low vibration into high vibration. And I expect you to be the light worker that you came here to be. You go into a space and you bring in color, and you bring in rainbow, and you bring in light. Understand? You're like, yes, Dr. Sue. Yes. Yep. And so I share that with my life coaching group all the time. It is your job as a light worker to go into the dark, which is what you do in your sleep anyway. You might as well do it in your day sleep as well. Go into a space and light it the fuck up through your heart. And you shine whatever color you need to shine into that. But when you are learning about what the Dracos, what the Lizzies have been doing to humans for thousands of years, you are going to have to open your heart so big, and you are going to have to become the rainbow, and you are going to have to love them all, and you're going to have to forgive. That's what we came here to do. That's what I do every day, all the time.
Yeah.
So no one has any excuse, because I have done this every day while being a solo parent of 3 children, being left and having to do all of this myself, and having to carry everybody on my back, and having to wake up, awaken, and heal while I am holding the fort, being mother and father. Thank you very much. I have died. I have birthed dead babies. I was left, etc., etc. So if I can do it, being the badass warrior goddess that I am, badass indigo, if I can do it, you can do it. Hold the light. It is fierce. Yes. Light is intense. The sun is intense. Love is intense. It's time to step up, and it's time to do the role that you came here to do. Another statistic that you and I talked about that we had heard, somebody had quoted this from a quantum healing session, and they posted this on the forum, but I talked to you about this. Somebody had talked with, and I don't know who it was on the Quantum Healers forum that shared this, but in one of their client sessions, the client's higher self collective guides team said, when souls come to be human, they usually only do 20% of their life. The 80% they're not awake enough to do. Wake up and do 100%. What you came here to do. We are.
Yeah.
We
that's
are.
Where you can talk about incarnation in a whole other talks. That's exactly what that is when you don't utilize the full percent, the full capacity of what we are here to do. Try again. Oh, try again. Oh, 30% this time? Nope, try again. Like, so it's just, you can do it all now. It's not too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if what you've been through. Like, it's, some people need extreme measures to have that extreme awakening, but it's all individual. It's just wake the fuck up. We're like,
time.
yeah.
This is the event. You came here And you know, so many starseeds now know this. So many starseeds are like, yes, I came here for this time, I get it. But there are still so many starseeds who are like, oh my God, I just want to go home, and they're waiting for the galactics to beam them up. Guess what? You're not going to get beamed up to a scout ship. You're not getting beamed back up to the mothership. It's not happening.
No.
You came from I came from the ship. I go to the ship in between lifetimes. When I'm sleeping, I go to the ship.
Yeah.
I remember, I have clear cognizance from the time I was in a crib that I'm coming from a ship. I'm coming from the galactic ship, the light ship. So we're not going. They're not beaming us off planet.
No, but even just having that view, that mentality is victim mode. And that just proves so much that you clearly have not integrated or healed if you're waiting to be rescued. Like, so nope, you got some more work to do, boo. Like, you ain't going nowhere yet. This is what we're here for. Strap on. Like, and if not, then again, you'll try again.
I know, but the thing is that now that there's no more reincarnation, they shut reincarnation down, actually. I was told a couple years ago that reincarnation was shut down. It's only new souls that are coming in from other star systems to build new Earth.
Oh, yeah, this new generation of the young kids are amazing. They're so expanded.
Well, let's talk about our kids. I mean, our kids. Yeah. Our kids are, I mean, I've got a 23-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 16-year-old. My 23-year-old has had more Earth lifetimes than I have. He's been here way more than I have. He's an indigo. He's a badass. But my 19-year-old and 16-year-old, this is their first life here. They're rainbow souls. This is their new life here. And they're just like, how can you people, I mean, literally, they first of all, they're quiet, just like Liam, your son is. Yeah. But they're just like, how do you people, they're like, number one, they're like, how do you do these bodies? Like, these bodies are weird. Number two, they're in the electronics all the time because that's easier for them. And then they're like, I don't even know, how do you work this? Like, I don't even know how you people have been living like this all this time.
Yeah.
You know, like my 19-year-old's like, this planet's fucked. How have you been doing?
And we've definitely had those moments for sure, because as you awaken, you're aware of like, oh, fuck. Like, what has been going on? Like, what happened? So these young star seeds coming in, you're fully aware of. You're just like, I'll sit back. I'll be here while you guys figure out your shit, because that ain't right. So you'll get there, but I'll wait.
Oh my God, these young star seeds, like, you see them and they like I'll be out walking and I'll see the kids and we give each other the look. It's like a code. We give each other the look, and most of their parents are not awake in my neighborhood. And then I'm like looking at their parents, and their parents aren't getting it. And I'm looking, like, I've had a couple of conversations in my local co-op. I've had conversations with the kids while they're sitting in their stroller, or they'll find me in the co-op. They would walk up to me and I would say, well, hello. And they were just looking at me and I'm like, where are you from? And they literally, one kid said to me, he gave me this Z name, Zazera, Zyra, something. And I said, is that your planet? And he was like 3. And he said, uh-huh. I said, you're new here, aren't you? And he goes, uh-huh. I said, and I like crouched down, and his mom was way off. In another corner, he walked away from her to go find me. And I said, you found me. He said, you're bright. I could see you across the store. I said, okay. I said, you're new here. And he said, yeah. And he said, you help people. I said, I do, sweetie. I said, is your mom awake? He said, I'm here to wake her up. I mean, I would have conversations like that.
Yeah.
I mean, often. That was going on for me since like 2000. It's like since 2000, because I gave birth to my 19-year-old in 2000. My 19-year-old will be 20 in October. And I was having conversations with kids then. And I'm like, are you new here? Uh-huh. What'd you come for? The big change. I've actually had little kids say to me, I'm here for the change. I'm here for the new moment, the big energy shift. They don't have the new Earth thing. They're just like, oh, I'm here for the change. I'm here for the shift. Oh, I had one 2-year-old come up to me and say, I'm here for my mission. I'm like, that's right. I'm here for my mission too. What's your mission? We're going to change it. Like, we are changing it. Yeah. I mean, I've had those kind of conversations with toddlers.
Yeah, my ego has blocked a lot of those encounters because I just wasn't ready in the past times. When little kids just like run up to me, I'm like, whoa, where's your mom? So like I feel like I've nipped those a little bit just because I've just never been a kid person, just because they would always be attracted to me or make me uncomfortable. And same like animals, like people always be that person, like my dog doesn't like people or my kid doesn't talk to other people. I'm like, well, I'm not a people. So, but can you get your kid back? Can you do something with it? And it wasn't until I had my son who just turned 10 where I'm like allowing that connection of with other children, and it's so pure and so fun, and
it's so easy.
so
It's us.
yeah.
They're us, we're them, and they know us right away. I've had so many, how many starseeds can relate to this? How many of us have gone out for a walk and some vicious dog or vicious cats come out, and the humans, they're humans, like, oh, be careful, and the dog just comes, the dog is immediately docile around you. The cat is immediately, oh, don't touch him, and you're like, oh, hi, Fluffy. And they're like, oh my God, he never does that around anyone. And I'm like, I know, just exactly what you were saying. It's like, oh my gosh, my cat's never gone up to anyone. And I say, I'm not anyone.
Exactly.
Who are you? I'm like, I've said this so many times. I'm an animal whisperer. Clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can talk telepathically to animals, and they're like, well, obviously. And the same with my kids. We've had deer come out of the wild in the forest and walk right up to me. I have video footage that I've taken myself with my phones in the past of my conversations with raccoons, possums, deer, owls, you name it. I mean, we live in nature here in Oregon, and I have gone out for walks, and I have video footage of myself having a conversation with a hummingbird.
Yeah, like just yesterday made me think of an experience. There was a fly in the house that was really bothering me and Jerry. Like, it was a big one. And I was like, enough. I just walked up, went like this. It crawled into my hand. He's like, I have never seen someone catch a fucking fly. I'm like, because I wasn't threatening. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm like, no, come on, let's go. He's like, you just blew my fucking mind. So, but all my life, I'm like, no, I'm not killing that thing. Come on.
You texted that to me yesterday. That was so funny. You told me you used to fly. That's the insects, and I get along very well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm never bothered by them. And again, we live in nature. They're everywhere. I love the bees. People are freaked out by the bees. I've never been stung by a bee. I love the bees. They crawl all over me. They leave me a little nectar. I've actually had a bee crawl up here, and I called it to come on to my face. It came up to my face. I was talking with somebody, a guy years ago who had a fear of bees, and the bees started coming to me. And I'm having this wonderful connection with this bee, and the bee crawls on my face, and the guy's literally like this. And I'm talking to the bee. I'm like, come on over here, come to my lip. Let me give you a kiss. And the bee literally crawled right here on my upper lip. I'm like, I love you. I love you. And it's just doing that, and it's tickling. And I'm like, oh, you're tickling me. And I'm like, okay, fly off. Go pollinate. It took off. And the guy's like, oh my God, I've never seen anything.
I literally just told my son this story. That same fucking thing happened to me. I promise. When I was a young kid, because my son's definitely afraid of bees. He's never been stung. So I was just explaining to him, like, listen, one time when I was a kid, a bee crawled up. I was like, what's up? And it went all the way up. Literally, just everything you just said. Got in my goddamn head. But it's, so it's.
You and I have had so many synchronistic similar experiences.
I know.
It's hilarious. It's so funny. Yeah, I love the bee thing. I've had bees that literally, this is what I share with people who have fear. The bees will pick up on that and will teach you. When the bees are stinging you, they're teaching you to let go of your fear through 3D oppositional perception. And when you come into self-love, they don't do that anymore. I've literally showed people who have a fear of bees when we're out in between bushes and stuff and the bees are all over. I'll say to them, now watch. I'll put my arm out and I'll ask the bee to come onto my hand, and then it will literally land. And I'll say to it, I love you. Please put your stinger away. And you'll see the stinger retract back up into its thorax. And people are like, you just have to ask it. It's consciousness. And then come on up here. The bee will come on up here. And then I'm like, give me a little kissy. Like, no, I'll say, go pollinate. It'll go off. And they're like, it's literally doing what you're asking it to do. I'm communicating with it because I know that there's no separation. I know that the bee and I are one.
Yeah,
I
especially
know.
with them having that high mentality, they already tapped into that unity consciousness. So it's not like
Yes.
you're
And so
literally
then,
speaking B. You're
yes,
just, yeah, it's a heart
with
to
that
heart.
same couple I had, then I'm like, and they're like, is that a fluke? No, watch. Here comes another one. Another one. Come land. Retract your stinger, please. Walk, 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 walk. It comes up here. I love you. Go pollinate. And I probably did that like with 5 different bees in a row to prove to them this is a way of being. This is not just a fluke thing. And I mean, then that changed this couple. They were like, oh, that's
Sure.
it. I completely, you just shifted my whole paradigm.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, clearly you're doing something I'm not. It's called self-love, people. Called self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like the universal law. Once you reach that point, all things resonate with that. Who are in that field. It's just QuanTuM. Google it.
we should put hashtags on the YouTube underneath.
Yeah.
So we were talking, and what got us into all this was talking about the 6 phases towards 2025 and the beginning of the age of Aquarius, because we're still not in, some people say we're in the age of Aquarius. We're technically not in it. It's a portal that we're going through to get into it. We're birthing and squeezing through the birth canal, the vagina, the vagina of Mother Earth is not easy, obviously. But as we go into phase 2, I keep getting that there's going to be, and you shared this with me as well, there's going to be a big announcement or a big event or something big is coming. And then
all eyes are on media right now, so I feel like it's going to be something disclosed.
It's going to be something disclosed. We're going to see some gnarly, dark, nasty stuff that's going to happen, because you're going to have to see the pus. We have to look at all of the pus. And then there will be another quarantine, folks. There's going to be another lockdown. I'm looking right at you in the camera. There's going to be another lockdown. Prepare. I'm prepared. I got my home set up. Prepare yourself. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable. Yeah. And there's going to be more shit that's going to come out. We're preparing you now. It's just
like that.
It is.
That should be a whole other universal talks, because it's so deep and intense that I don't want to deter people on this long one already, because it's so, we can just talk about so much about the corruption and the cabal. And
we'll do that. I think we should do that on the next talk. I think we should do that next week on next week's talk, because we should make this one public immediately. Mm-hmm. This should be the next one that we release, because this one is so pertinent to right now. But yeah, we should roll that. That should be our rollover into next week's talk, is talking about why we're going on a lockdown and diving into more of what we do need to see. What is the pus? We're going to need to talk about what the pus is.
Yes.
Yeah. So on that note.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.
I am Kenny. This is my beautiful sister, Sonya. All the information will be down below.
Yeah. And we should put both of our quantum healers page and my website in the description box down below as well. If you want a session with Kenny, go to his quantum healers page. It's in the description box down below. If you want a quantum healing hypnosis session with me, a healing session with me, or to join my life coaching group, go to my website, which is in the description box down below.
Yes, and my website is in the works.
Yes.
Yes.
It is in the works. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. This was good.